Do you know anybody who likes to be smart, who likes to have sometimes all the answers? Well, they could very well be an Enneagram number 5. That's what I'm going to talk about today. Now, this is something that, I love, because the 5s are, I'm surrounded by 5s actually. I have a lot of family members who are 5s. I have lots of friends who are 5s as well. And they are really great to hang out with. They often have a good recollection of the actual facts. They are the learners of the world, the readers of the world. I mean, I think it's in the Bible, the learned will inherit the earth, and I always think of the 5s because, I think, well, you got game on there. So you're ahead of the game, compared to some of us. So they're the readers, the writers, librarians. Think of the kinds of professions that they'd be in. Would be anything to do with the written word, anything where they're going to learn stuff, documentaries, studying stuff. They often reading, writing, often wear glasses, reading glasses, because they're constantly absorbing information. They're like sponges, you throw information at them and they just suck it up. It's fantastic. So they are fabulous as well if you are in an environment where you want things implemented, because they do like their structure. They like to implement things, and they're often detail oriented. Not always, but quite often they are. So they're the ones who will go, the comma's not in the right place, the full stop's not where you're missing it, you forgot to mention this point here. So they're great proofreaders. They're great in project management if you're wanting the detail side to be taken care of. They're excellent implementers, quite often good finishers, not always, but as always there's an exception to every rule. But typically they are the ones that like to implement. If there isn't a structure in place, they'll be the ones that are really great to have that sorted for you. They are interesting in that quite often they take a bit of convincing. If you want them to get to do something, you kind of have to present the information and then let them mull on it, let them think about it, let them go away and research about it. Some people are very good in a high change environment. They are not. That's the other thing with them. So I've been in corporate environments where they do a shake up, and it's a restructure, and that is so destabilizing for a 5. They just want to know that it's going to be consistent and there's a structure and that they fit into that structure, and there's a level of and this overlaps into the 6s as well actually, which I'll be discussing with you next. Hopefully you'll join me for that. And so those 5s sometimes can be, a lot of 5s are quite often the guys sitting in the peanut gallery, sitting on the sideline watching life before they make any commitments. They don't want to jump in and get involved until they're absolutely sure. Sometimes they don't even do the jumping in the first place. That can be one of the issues, is that they are fearful in life and they don't take the steps that they need in order to live a fulfilled life that they could be leading, which is what we're trying to all do here. Is we want to, my whole point of these exercises of the shoe psychology is about, what shoes are we wearing? Are we going in the right direction? Are we wearing the right shoes with the right people on the same path that are going to support us? If they're not the right shoes, what shoes would I rather be wearing? How do I transition out of these shoes into those shoes and still function in the environment that I'm in? That kind of thing. So this whole journey, I encourage you to take those steps, especially if you're a 5 that sits on the sideline of life. It's like little steps. Just take the first step. I encourage you to take that little step today, and it's just okay, what could I do that's slightly outside of my comfort zone that I could actually do? It might be that I go and say hello to somebody else. It could be that I've always wanted to do this course and I've never been brave enough to do it because it involves me coming out of my shell. An unhealthy 5, just so that you know, tends to be on the Richter scale, tends to go into that reclusive mode. So if you think about the hermit, which is wonderful, we love hermits because I think of the Zen master sitting on his rock with all his wisdom, and they do have that. However, they are sitting in a cave by themselves. And this is one of the things that I find with 5s, is if they don't have a good way to handle their stress and their pressure en route, they can ostracize themselves, they can pull away, they retreat into their cave, and they think that I had an excellent example from one of the guys that came to me years ago, and he said, you know, there I was thinking that I was locking everybody out, but actually what I was doing was locking myself in. So you create a prison for yourself rather than you know, being out there, having your wisdom shared. You know, what's the point of having all that wisdom if you're not going to share it and make a difference not only in your own life but everybody else's? I mean, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, it's like as Wayne Dwyer would say, don't die with the song that's still inside you. You know, make sure you take that step today with something small and something little. So a 5, you know, the owl is the associated animal. You think about wisdom, they're up in the trees, they're looking down on, you know, what's going on. They can see things further down the line that perhaps others wouldn't, because they've got that perspective. And you know, they're just great people to hang around with. So if you happen to know of any 5s, maybe you can share it in the comments box. Go, oh yes, I already know, you know, I've got my, you know, so-and-so uncle who is a librarian and he wears glasses, and you know, he's always lecturing me on physics or whatever it is. So why don't you share some of your 5s that you have, and then start looking around, start noticing, take the little step today. Don't just listen to this, actually take the step. I encourage you to do that along the path to, this is all about building our awareness here. If we don't know what needs to be changed, how can we change it? So this is where it begins. You know, if we can start going, right, step 1, it's less than 10 minutes, bite-sized chunk, can listen to this anywhere on any device, watch it, you know, doing your chores, doing your dinner, driving in the car, going to work, whatever the case may be, exercising, just 10 minutes and go, right, I commit to doing whatever the little step is for me today. And then if you're up for sharing that, maybe go to the Facebook group and share what that is, and let's start talking so we can start supporting each other on our new path together. All right, thank you so much for making time. As always, much appreciated. Namaste.